My name is Eleanor Hasken-Wagner, and I'm the Museum and Historic Sites Supervisor for the City of Frankfort and the Director at the Capital City Museum. What I have here to share with you all today is the American Detent Chronometer made by Benjamin F. Meek. Now, this chronometer, or clock as we know it, is the only handmade clock in the state of Kentucky, which sounds extreme, but it's true. Most folks who would make the exterior of clocks would not make the internal gearing mechanisms. However, the gentleman who made this was a well-known local clockmaker, and he was the official timekeeper for the Frankfort Railroad system. So clocks were his way of life. It is a very special piece of Frankfort history, and it's a great way to highlight the craftsmanship that went into it. Every piece of internal machinery, down to the screws, down to the screw holes, down to the winding keys, those were all made on a hand-turning, foot-powered lathe. But he really made a name for himself, making the Frankfort fishing reels, and these reels have very similar internal mechanisms to this clock here. What's interesting as well is that the chronometer was thought to be lost to history. People knew that Benjamin Meek had made it, but they didn't know where it had ended up, and it wasn't in any official institutional collection in the state. Thankfully, the Capital City Museum, thanks to our very generous benefactors, Betty Barr and Don Clyer, were able to locate the clock in their collection and put it on display here at the museum. I encourage everybody to come check out the crafting and casting exhibit where the chronometer is on display. This exhibit is one of a kind. It's the only place in the state of Kentucky where you can see handmade fishing reels, and all of these reels were made by folks from Frankfort who trained in Frankfort, and they were actually one of our largest exports at the time, at the turn of the century. They were up there with hemp and tobacco and bourbon, of all things. It's wild to think about. But the museum is open to the public from Monday through Saturday from 10 to 4. Come on down, come hang out, check out what we've got going on, and come see the chronometer in person.